Well, the geese are back, honking out our front door right here, so that means the golf season's almost here. A couple more weeks and we'll be all set. Had a great question, and these are topics that are touchy because they're so popular. The question was, how far do you turn the shoulders compared to the hips? And over the weekend, I just got back from the Toronto Golf Show, March 9, 10, 11. I gave a couple of talks there. Hank Haney was there giving a talk, so me and Hank. I wish. Anyways. So we had a nice booth, and we had an area where we were doing some free lessons. We were giving some nice lessons to promote our golf learning center here at the Richmond Hill Golf Club. And I would say over 90% of the people we saw in our booth had little or no hip turn in the backswing. And many golfers out there are still stuck on the idea that you've got to resist with the hips and you've got to coil the upper body muscles against the lower body. Well, if you put your hands on your hips and try to turn your shoulders against your hips, you would notice that this just doesn't work. The concept is a misconception. Johnny Miller was quoted as to saying that he felt the quote-unquote X factor, popularized by a top teacher in the U.S., he felt he got that X factor in the downswing, not the backswing. Jim McLean, 2 winters ago, in February I believe it was, in Golf Digest, confessed that he may have been misinterpreted for teaching the X factor. He had a picture of himself like this, with no hip turn, with a big red X on it, with a big no on the bottom that says, no, you're not completing your backswing, you're not getting enough momentum in your swing. And then the picture right next to it, you could see he had a huge shoulder turn and a very big hip turn, at least 45 degrees. Textbooks will tell you 45 degrees in the hips and 90 degrees in the shoulders, just as you see here. And he even had his left heel off the ground with a big yes underneath. It says, well, I fully turned my hips and shoulders, and I feel that at the top of the swing, I feel some nice resistance in my back muscles. So, you're going to get that resistance. And this is something that we looked at big guys like Ernie Els, and we saw those big lat muscles bulging out, and we thought, hey, if we could just coil that like a slingshot. The concept was all right, but biomechanically really isn't sound. They stopped talking about the X factor, or they're whispering about it now, because the big thing is to keep the hands centered in front of the body. If the arms get wrapped around the back of the body too much, you can't get to the ball. Everybody knows that. So how are you going to resist the hips and keep the arms out in front of the body? It just can't be done. Let's rewind a little bit and go back to the Little Red Book by Harvey Penick. Now there's a teacher. He said, and I quote, that the right hip cleared in the backswing so that the arms could swing back, and the left hip cleared on the downswing so that the arms had access to the target. Okay, now, it's like the crane and the wrecking ball, or the dog wagging the tail. Okay, you'll see in the other videos, we're looking at the hips starting the backswing. All right? Now imagine you're a boxer, and you're going to snap a punch with your left hand going back. Try this at home. You take your fist, and you try to snap a punch. You'll realize, hey, was it my left arm, or was it my right hip that was getting out of the way first? Oh, look at that. It feels like my right hip is moving first. Yes, of course, because the lower body is slower, and it's got to give the upper body some lead time. So the faster you want to snap, the faster that right hip will want to clear. Automatically. Okay? So the hips clear to make room for the arms. There we go. This is at 45 degrees. Any more than that, and I would be picking myself off the ball, or I would be in a follow-through for a left-handed golfer. This wouldn't bode very well for my downswing. So don't worry about turning your hips. They're supposed to, okay? So as we go back, turn, there we go. Now I've got a full shoulder turn and a full hip turn. Now I feel like I can swat the golf club with authority and with very little effort. Imagine from here, if I tried to whip the club, I can't really whip it very well, so now I'm going to have to solicit some help from the lower body. So now I'm going to throw that lower body right out from underneath me, and my positioning is now very much compromised. My spine angle, very much compromised. My body is thrown right out in front of my arms, and I'm blocked to the golf ball. So, use the hips, the turn of the hips, to toss the arms into the backswing. Then, let the arms fall in front of you, and you'll feel that left hip want to clear. So it's toss, toss. Oh, that felt so good and so effortless. You will really see and feel a huge difference in your swing when you swing this way. It'll feel like there's no resistance going back. Everything feels oily and freewheeling. And don't worry. The more assertive you are in the downswing, the more the lower body's going to want to lead. And when that lower body leads, you will get that X factor that we all talk about. The X factor, in my opinion, should be in the downswing. Now, if you were a youngster, 12-year-old, and flexibility galore, and you're not turning your hips in the backswing, but you can get a full 90-degree shoulder turn, and the arms can stay in front of you, good for you, good on you. That works. So if the arms can stay in front of you, you get a full shoulder turn, and you really feel that you're using momentum to hit the golf ball, that's what counts. So whatever fits you is what you want to use. In my case, I'm 41, and I'm really losing flexibility. So I'm just going to let the hips move my swing, move my arms into the backswing. Here we go. And that to me feels amazing. Everything's in front of me, all the positions are solid, I feel like I'm in good balance. So I hope this helps, and all of you out there, there's some relief in sight. Catch you later.